Hello, it's Evan again, here for another game of Smugglers Run, continuation of the Moreton Brothers campaign. We've already done one round where it was quite a successful mission. They managed to smuggle a bunch of beer through to England from Denmark. They're now situating themselves on the Isle of Man, looking for another mission. So the overall goal of the game is basically for these Moreton Brothers to work off the debt and then make some profit off of the top of that. We had, as I said, quite a successful run last time. We managed to make £1,000. So we paid off some of the debt. I forgot about the interest last time, so I added the interest on top of the debt that they're currently running at. Basically, I'm saying it's like a 4% per month debt. So it's slowly ticking on, but if we can keep doing successful missions, it should be fine. Famous last words. But with extra cash that we had left over, I did get an upgrade for our primary ship, the Barnacle. So there's the Barnacle there. And the Barnacle, we're going to follow this ship predominantly throughout the campaign, even though we've also got the Cow over here. I can't remember the Moreton brothers' names. I think it was James and William. So we're following James's ship. But yes, we've got some an upgrade. We've got ourselves a net, which adds a little bit of value to the ship. But also is going to mean that anytime someone tries to board my ship, they have a -1 on their skill roll. So it's a little bit harder to board the Barnacle, which is a good upgrade for now. I'm curious to look at some other ones, maybe for speed or additional firepower, but we'll see how we go. Also looking to maybe purchase a bigger ship, but we'll see how that all plays out. Don't count your chickens and all of that. So what I did then was I then used whatever cash we had left over. We didn't have to borrow this time in order to get the smuggling supplies. We could smuggle a variety of things from the Isle of Man, but we just went something simple. We went some wheat, just 4 things of wheat. £400 in total was the cost. And hopefully from the sale we'll get about £600 from that. Again, that's only if the mission is successful. So the mission. Basically, I rolled for what mission would be next. I rolled for the opponents. They're making their way to, I'm just in my head canon, making their way to the coast of Wales from Isle of Man, trying to smuggle this load of contraband wheat through to the mainland. So let's set up and let's see how it all goes. So it's the dead of night. The smuggling run has gone fairly successfully. They've managed to get from the Isle of Man down around the coast, heading towards Swansea, and things all seem to be going very well. There were some nerves that perhaps they had been followed since the last mission, but so far it's all been plain sailing until they come into sight of the coastline. For meeting them is not only the rugged cliffs of Wales, but also a large assortment of ships. So they have been waiting. Those ships that followed managed to get the word that these guys were indeed coming, and they didn't know exactly where, but they managed to set up a loose patrol to keep an eye on what was going on. In order to get their smuggling supplies through, they'll have to run the blockade and get through the Smugglers Run. Here we go. So yes, this mission, the mission I rolled was Smugglers Run. Basically, I have to get my 2 ships through this blockade. These guys, the opposing British Coast Guard can set up within this centre space of the board, about 16 inches away from the edge. My guys can start over in this corner. So they've got to get through that. They've got to get to this little island. This is the first little bit of terrain I've ever painted up in my life. So yes, it's average, but it'll do the job. We've got to get within 3 inches of that island, weigh anchor, and be at anchor at the start of the turn in order to unload 2 pieces of cargo per turn. Fortunately, both of my ships only have 2 pieces of cargo. So they just need to be at anchor at the start of the turn near that island in order to drop off their supplies. Any supplies not dropped off at the end of this mission will not count towards a successful mission. But to add to the complications of this, they are arriving at night. So everyone's shooting is going to be reduced by 1. And hypothetically, like a fog has rolled in. Now, all the ships' range, no matter what type of cannon, their maximum range is 16 inches. So only 16 inches, which kind of makes these mortar catchers again a little bit useless, but we'll see how they go. They're probably going to still cause some grief. I also get to use my nice new mat, which got the old sewing machine out and stitched together myself. So yes, all a bit amateur hour, but it's going to do the job and I'm kind of happy with it. Oh, the other thing I'm happy with is since our last little operation, I did paint up my little gunboats. So I've got the little boats and just mocked it together with extra bits of scrap that we had left over from the other ships. Painted up the ship so it's cardboard to the base, and yeah, for a first kit bash, I'm kind of happy with that. But yes, they'll be taking part in this campaign, so it should be fun. Here we go. Let's see if we can get our ships through. Okay, so I'm going to have, I've set the ships like this. More or less the plan's going to be the cow is going to try and run some interference. He's basically going to deliberately dive himself into the defences with the goal of drawing off their attention. While the barnacle makes its way towards the east in order to maybe slip past and get landed. Hopefully once he lands and drops off his cargo, because he will be still, his mortar fire will be more effective. And so then he will draw them off from the island, allowing the cow to then maybe get in and drop off its load as well. That's the plan. Whether or not that will actually happen or not, we will find out. But nonetheless, I've put the barnacle closest to the wind, so the barnacle will indeed go first, so we get to see him go. At the moment, everyone is at battle speeds. Excuse the bumping. Which means that the barnacle is going to be travelling pretty much close to the edge for 10 inches. So we'll measure that out. As I said, the idea is more or less just close to the edge as we go, trying to keep away from the enemy's attention. We're doing some sneaking. No firing because everything's over 16 inches away. Yeah, so the sneaking has begun. This is the start of turn 8, by the way. 8 of 8 turns, so we're counting down to 0. Next will be the cow. He's going to just try and, well, run the blockade. We'll see how well that works. So we're at the top of the 7th round of 8, as I said before. I'll keep moving the dice back and forwards so you can keep track of that during the time lapse. And things have already gotten underway. So the barnacle's sneaking past. The cow got within range, so basically fire began to be opened up. Obviously the barnacle wouldn't know how well that's going, but it's not going too well for the cow. It has had no luck, but the other one has. Meanwhile, all the other ships just seem to be slowly lumbering and doggy guarding. These smaller vessels are moving forward, but those brigs have come to a slow halt. So pretty much our defensive line is going to be our 2 catchers and our frigate, and the brigs will be sort of running guard duty. So look, the plan is still in place. So we'll have old barnacle keep rolling. They're starting to probably turn now. The wind hasn't changed, so as he turns, he will have the wind in his back. So hopefully that will do him a favour. So, currently, though, because he's perpendicular, it will be battle sails. So, battle sails, just 5 at first. 5. And then he's going to turn hard, because next time he wants to catch that wind and basically get roaring towards that island. Will he be in range? That's the question. Will he be in range to make a shot with his mortars? Because that is a possibility for old mate. Turn you again as far as you can so that you can have the wind behind you. Hopefully. The wind doesn't change. The wind didn't change last round, which was good. Okay. Can he make a shot? Well, he probably could, because that would be within 16. And at this point, he's just going to run the cluckers as fast as he can. A little afraid of that other catch, the zebra. He could run interference. But look, got to stick to the plan. So, he is going to indeed fire. He's going to fire his mortar. Yeah, the target is inside or outside of 10 inches. Outside 10 inches. He's moved 10. He has only moved 10. Let's think. Mine's the 1 in the overall game. I think he can do it, but only on a 1. Only on a 1 can he actually make the hit. Sorry about the noise. Alright, so look. Not even close. It's a 9. But it was worth the effort. So he takes a shot. He lets him know that he's there. It's going to be the firing gun more than anything else than an actual successful hit. But it can't be said he's not doing his part. Alright, let's keep this round rolling. Okay, we are at the top of round 6, I believe. Things are going to plan, but I don't know if that's a good thing necessarily. So off in the distance, the cow is getting absolutely hammered. I believe that's by the prince, the sloth, and the Lady Nelson. They're just absolutely laying into them. The mortar ships, the catch ships from the opposing side, they've finally got a crack off. Now that they're anchored, they can actually fire off towards me. So it's going pretty bad over there. But we did manage to get a critical off of the cow, which is lovely. And there was an attempted boarding, but it failed as well. So that was good fortune. What was bad fortune is over here, the supply managed to line up the barnacle beautifully, and it did indeed crack off a nice critical hit. But fortunately, it was a crew hit, so all the men had gone down, so it's very sad for them. But it only means that if there is a skill roll, we would automatically fail the skill roll, and I don't think that's going to be too much of an issue in the barnacle's next move. So the barnacle's next move is obviously to go to full sail and basically book it towards the island. So the plan was to rocket towards the island and try and anchor and get the supplies off as quick as he can. So that's what he's going to do. He might take a shot as he goes past. He needs to stay clear of the zebra, because the zebra could try and board him, which would be an absolute nuisance. So we don't want to do that. So we make sure we stay 3 inches clear of this guy as we just absolutely fly past everyone. Oop, bit of a wave there. As best we can. Oh, we might turn a little bit more. Wait, don't go over. Big wave. So that way, if he does decide to go, forwards a little bit, I'll be out of range well and truly from a 3-inch grapple. Having said that, he's got the net, so he would be safe. He would be safe. All right, now that I'm here though, do I take a shot? Now, can I reach him with my shotguns, the colonnades or whatever they're called. I don't know what they're called, but I can't pronounce it properly. But could I get him with what I'm calling the shotguns on the ship? Because this is, as I've said before, because it's our hero ship, he's a little bit custom. He's got a mortar on board and a shotgun, colonnade cannon. It is a little bit rule breaky, but again, this is our hero ship, so we decided to give him that little extra pep. But is he within 8? Yes, he's within 8. He is within 8. So we're going to take a big shot with both our mortar and our shotgun cannon blast. So I'm going to grab those dice, grab a blue, grab a black, over here. Now, stats wise, what do I need to roll? So already it's at a -1 because of the night time, so we're at 4. We're firing 2 positions at once, which is pretty exciting, but that's no modifier to that. We're outside of 3 inches, but we're inside 10, so no modifiers to that. My ship is at full sail, so that is -2. But they're not, which is they haven't moved all that much, so that's fine. They're small, so that's 1. Okay, so the mortars can't hit because the mortars already automatically have a reduction on, I think, 2. So we're only shooting with our colonnade shotgun, and we have to go 1. You have to go to 1 to get a hit. Come on! Oh no! Very exciting jumping through the mast, but no, we've got a 2. So valiant attempts, but no hit. But doesn't matter. The goal is to fly out of there as quick as we can. All right, let's keep this round rolling. Okay, so it has gone wrong for the cow. Now normally we're following the barnacle, which is off that way somewhere. But the what's this? The I can't remember the name of that ship. It's not the Prince of Wales. It might be the Charlotte. No, yeah, Charlotte. Anyway, one of my ships. I think it's the Charlotte. Or the Prince of Wales has gotten into range of the cow. It was anchored, and he chucked his boarding grappling hooks, and he was successfully got the 5. So these 2 ships are now going to be locked in grapple. So logically, they're pulling their ropes in, and it's something like that is how they're boarding each other. And now we roll to see what the combat is. So I'm going to call it the Prince. The Prince has the advantage on this, so because he's starting to grapple, so he's trying to get 6 and down for a hit, whereas the cow is being 5 and down for a hit. So the cow is the good guys, they're blue. The Prince is the bad guy, they're red. Here we go. All right, what do we got? Oh, roll away. So we got a 7, 1 hit on the Prince, and no hits. Oh no hits from the cow, which means he won. We take, the cow takes, I think it was 2 damage, I'm fairly certain. I'll change it if I need to later. So it takes 2 damage. He lost that combat, but he's not below half, so he's still hanging in there, he's still fighting. Oh, this is bad. This is bad. So, the next ship in the sequence is indeed the cow, though. So, the cow did take the damage, it was 2 damage for that. But let's be honest, we don't really want to be here. Oh, do we? Because, while he's grappled, no one's going to be shooting at him. That's the payoff, you know what I mean? So, do we want to actually keep being grappled? No, I don't think so. So, I think he's going to try and break free, which means he needs to roll a 5 or a 6 to break off this combat. So hopefully he can do that. Let's find out. No, he does not. So he's still stuck on this guy. The fighting continues. Oh gee, this could all go wrong. No. Okay, so I just realised when I set up the time-lapse camera that even though he didn't break free, he can still fight. So I rolled the dice. He got a 10 and a 7, whereas the cow got 2 and a 3. So he actually does get some hits onto the prince, reducing him by 4. So he still hasn't broken free, but he did manage to get some revenge, which is always a lovely thing. We were almost at the top of round 5. The supply managed to get a go in first, but he's just ominously and slowly turning to try and get the barnacle in his sights. So that's pretty ominous. But it is the barnacle's turn. He basically now had a clear shot. The zebra did take a pot shot at him from his mortar. Look, I figured that the catch ships, they're going to be the most effective for the opponents in this if they are stationary, because then they get the best stats on their mortar fire possible, which kind of forces the other ships to basically run as fast as they can. They have no chance to sort of be stationary in this. So they kind of like basically force a fast play if they just sort of sit and take pot shots as we go. So that's what they're going to do. But anyway, back to the barnacle. Barnacle's going to, again, stick to the plan and sail as fast as he can to that island. So he is at full sail. The wind hasn't changed. Let's have a look. Yep, full sail. So here we go. He's going to go sailing as hard as he can towards that island. So one straight first. That's a bit of a house rule, but they have to go straight first, I have to admit. But, you know, it's not a bad one. It keeps the ship nice and lumbering, which is what I want. And then they just go as hard as you can, buddy, to the coast. I like to imagine that you can see, like, the lights of some smugglers over there. And he's just making it as fast as he can towards it. I'm not going to bother taking a mortar shot. I don't think with the speed it would even be possible, so I'm not going to do that. But the goal is to get within 3 inches of that island and then drop off the supplies. So we're getting close to at least getting one batch off. Problem is, William Marsden, or Moreton, is over here, currently locked in epic battle. So he's still trying to break free because he needs to get to the coast as well to make this run as profitable as possible. At this rate, I'm really worried that won't be the case. Okay, so once again I forgot that you guys were locked in battle, which is kind of interesting in this game. But prior time I set up the time-lapse camera. So the prince is next. He's going to be attacking. This time again, both have 2 dice. They still haven't dropped below 10, either of them, which would be a problem because they'll be half health anyway. They're both looking for below 5. So let's have a look. Oh no! So not only the cow got a hit in. The cow got a hit in, which is lovely for the cow. Nice for you. So that's down 2. So he's now down to 10. Okay. But also, sadly, the cow not only took a below 5, but also a critical, which means that's 4. So he's going to lose 6. Oh, what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which means, tragically, he is now below half, which means he now needs to do a skill test to see if these men just don't fly colours now. Oh, this is the worst. Okay, so we'll do that now. They need to get a 5 or a 6, otherwise it's all over for the cow and all that contraband on there. I'll use the big dice. I'll use the big dice so they can see it a bit clearer. So that's 5. Here we go. Oh, no. Oh, no. So just like that, the cow strikes colours. It has been captured. William Marsden. Oh, no. So it doesn't mean the ship's necessarily destroyed or whatever, but it does mean at the end of all this, I'm going to have to roll on the chart to see what happens. What happened to the Marsden? Did he manage to talk his way out of this whole conundrum and keep his supplies, or is this ship going to be impounded forever? And we just managed to lose a lot of money on that ship. Oh, anyway. Oh well, let's see how we go. It's all on you, Barnacle. It's all on you. Okay, it's coming down to it. So with William Moreton out of the race, it is absolutely imperative that the Barnacle gets to shore, anchors, drops off his 2 cargo. I'm going to say, because there's only 4 cargo in total, if he drops off his 2 cargo, that this will be a victory for the smugglers, but they'll only be able to cash in their 2 cargo. But right now, the Barnacle's hurtling along at full sail, so he actually needs to take 2 turns now to slow down as quick as he can. Oh my gosh. So he's got to do it while staying within 3-inch range of the island. These guys have turned in, they're taking shots, all the other ships are also turning and trying to get into range to take shots at the Barnacle. It's not looking good, to be perfectly honest, but we'll give it a go. So he's coming here. He's turning so he doesn't hit the island, but staying close to the island. And he's going another 5. Okay. So he's within 3. I know that within 1 inch, technically you run aground, but more or less I'm just always like, if you just basically touch, that's about outside an inch anyway, touch base, that's a problem. Alright. So what we're going to do, because we got to wait out a whole other turn, he's going to take a shot. He's also going to take a shot at these guys with his shotgun, whatever it's called. It's also, is it within range of his mortar? I believe so. So let's have a look. They're both reduced to 4 anyway. The target is over 10 inches, or under 10 inches, but over 3. So still 4. Shooting vessel is not anchored. Is that one set less than 10? More than 10? No. It is small. Okay, so, but then reduce that mortar by 2. Okay, so my shotgun can hit, my black dice can hit on a 3, but my blue dice can only hit on a 1. So let's see what happens. Oh, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Oh, that's so annoying. But he's doing his best. He's doing his best to hang in there for another round. He's taking shots. He's doing what he can. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. We've got a few more rounds left. Now, let's see what happens. Okay, here we are, close to the end of all things. So, the sloth has come rolling in just at cruising speed, so he's not going too fast. That's where he gets to, clearly within 3 inches. Yes, he is going to try and board. He is going below full sail, so he should be able to be boarded officially in the rules. So we're talking here a 5 or a 6 to board. No, just a 1. So he doesn't board, but Mare's getting close. And we've also got Old Mate over here watching from a distance. So what's he going to do? Oh, let's be honest. He's seeing that he's getting ready to board, so he may as well just put himself in a better position. So that way he can potentially board later, but also, of course, he's going to lay a shot into this guy. So he's going to drop back down to cruising speed. Drop down to cruising speed. He's already taken a shot at the Barnacle, but fortunately he's a 6th rate cannon, 6th rate ship, so he only has 1 long range cannon, which has been very convenient for the Barnacle. Oh, look at that. Look at that. He's lined him up. He'll be able to use his not just his long guns, but also pretty much all his cannons. All his cannons will be able to be brought to bear. Oh no! So there's one long, one short, one shotgun. What's the statistics on that? So he will be hitting on. I never remember these things. Is he within 3 inches range? I don't believe so. No, he's not. Thank goodness. So it's 4 because of the -1 for the whole scenario. The shooting vessel is not anchored or full sail. The target vessel has not travelled over 10 inches. He is tiny, so it's 3. 3 and down. If he gets 3 down on any of these, it's going to hurt like blue blazes. So let's have a look. Here we go. Oh no! So the light cannon. Oh no! We've got ourselves a double critical. Oh, now I'm pretty sure criticals don't stack. So you're going to get a critical hit. Oh my gosh. So that is, with a broadside for each of those, 2, 3, plus another 4, 5, and it was 3 and down, wasn't it? So that's also 5, 8, 9. He takes 9. Oh my gosh, that's huge. Which brings it down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh my gosh. It's not looking good, ladies and gentlemen. It's not looking good. That was a huge hit to the side of, to the front of the barnacle. So that was really bad. That was really bad. Plus we've got the critical. So let's find out what the critical is. So we roll on a critical table. Let's see what we get. We get ourselves the number 1, which is a quarter deck. Oh, that's the nerve centre. So pretty much the captain and all that, they've been knocked over. So we can't change direction. All level of sail can be made in the next activation phase without passing a skill test. Okay, so I can try and pass a skill test. Also our shooting penalty dropped by 1. Oh, that's bad. Oh, that's bad. Okay, so this is where it stands. He's careening along the barnacle's careening along at battle sail, but he wants to drop it down to anchor. He has to, otherwise he can go into him and off the board. So I've got to get a 5 or a 6. A 5 or a 6 in order to not have all this go horrendously wrong. Oh, just like that. He gets a 2. So it goes horrendously wrong. Okay. So let's play it out. What happens is he will travel 5 inches into our frigate friend here, which now means they both need to roll a skill test. So they both get +2, so they're both trying to get a 4, 5, and 6. Otherwise, the barnacle will crash and burn. Okay, one of them got a 6, so he doesn't crash and burn. He, in theory, passes through him. Which, considering he's about halfway through, we're just going to say, because he can't change direction anyway, that he's going to then do his further 5 from roughly half in the middle, which brings him almost off the board. So this is how it stands. If it gets around to that, the barnacle's turn again, the slowest he can go is light sail, which will send him off the board, which means that ultimately he was going to go off the board, he's going to run away from battle, and all of this will be for naught. All the other ships bouncing around the field won't mean anything. What matters is that frigate. If that frigate can pull him in and board him, because you want to do that, you want to get the supplies before this person runs away, then he can stop the barnacle from going off the board. So basically, I'm going to roll the dice. This could be the last roll of the entire game. The frigate will need to get a 5 or a 6. If they can get a 5 or a 6, then they will rope in the barnacle and potentially keep the game going. All right, here we go. 5 or 6. Oh, Ready. Careful. Slide. It's a 6. Okay, so it's happened. They've thrown the ropes. They've lashed onto the barnacle. I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing or not, but we will see. Let's imagine they've thrown the ropes and then they pull each other closer, which is the most direct way to pull. We're going to say that they're turning like something like that. Okay. They pulled them in, they've grappled. So now what happens? Now what happens is, for the sake of excitement, we're going to say that the barnacle is currently close enough for the smugglers on the island to come out and get the ship. And the ship is currently anchored. So basically, if the barnacle can win this combat, oh my gosh, and then break off the grapple, he will then be starting his round anchored and therefore get the supplies on the island. It's a little bit dodgy, a little bit cheaty, but let's give it a go because it makes it more exciting. So like I said, he's got to win the combat and he's got to then break free with a skill test. Alright, so let's do the maths on this. I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so this is the breakdown. We've got ourselves a barnacle with 9 hit points getting 1. And we've got ourselves frigate getting 3 and down. They're also trying, they're getting 3 dice and they're trying to get 6 and down. The barnacle's trying to get 5 and down. So here we go. This is it. This is probably going to be a horrible experience, but you never know. The barnacle could win. Here we go. Oh, what have we got? Oh no, not good. So he got his hit in, but our frigate friend got a better hit. So that's 4 hits down. 1, 2, 3, 4 down for the barnacle. He's now down to 5 health. And the frigate, he also took one in the eye. He loses 2 points, but ultimately the brig is beneath its strike colours, strike rate, which means he automatically strikes colours. And just like that, the Moreton brothers' 2 ships and their reign of smuggling is potentially brought to an end. Oh, so there you go. We only had half the rounds, 5 rounds. It got a little carried away, and it was close. It was very close. The barnacle almost got there, but it already went wrong when William's ship managed to also get caught. But there you go. That was the epic battle. All right, let's do the numbers. So that was a complete and utter hiding. So the result, mission fails. Fallout, post-battle, complete failure. So it was a complete failure. Both ships managed to be captured, boarded and captured. They struck colours, all the contraband was taken, which means when we get to the post-battle process, we have a look at selling the cargo. There is no cargo to be sold. It was, none of it got to shore. We were captured, we were ambushed, and everything was taken from us. But now we find out what happened to our ships. So both our ships struck colours, which means that what we're going to do is we're rolling a d10. Let's use the pretty blue one just because that's a little bit less scary looking. And we're going to find out what happened to our 2 ships. So let's see what happened. We might just quickly turn to our ship page. So that way we can quickly update anything that we need to. So let's start with the brig, the cow. Let's find out what's happened to William Moreton. If he's still alive. So let's find out. We roll 1d10. Here we go. It's a 6. What happened to him? 5 to 6. You ditched your swag. The crew managed to avoid being arrested by jettisoning the contraband, but there's no additional effects. So we have lost our wheat. We've lost our 2 wheat. Oh my gosh. Okay, but the ship's in one piece, so the cow, we still have the cow at least. All right. But then what happened to the barnacle? Our dear beloved barnacle. Oh, here we go. So this could all be bad. It struck colours. What happens to it? 1. Oh, that can't look good. Yep, a 1 is without question very bad. So our beloved barnacle, the blue barnacle. James Marsden's prototype military vessel. In the end, it was impounded. Surrounded by all those ships, there was no way that it would have slipped away. It was taken to the customs shipyard where it was broken up for scrap. So that means our barnacle is indeed out of the game. Now, obviously this miniature might appear again later in the future, but it is no longer the barnacle. The only ship left in the Marsden Brothers fleet is the cow. But they have no money. They were paying off the debt. They have no supplies, warehouse. Well, they've got very little money, but they've got a mounting debt. Things are bad. Things are desperate. So we'll strike the barnacle from our lists. And basically the Marsdens are going to have to do some serious reevaluation as to what they intend to do in the future. But we'll find that out next time. We've got the cow. Let's see if we can bring our heroes back from the abyss. Alright, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe and all that sort of stuff. And I might see you